Welcome back. You're watching us here on CNBC-TV18 Bazaar Morning Call. In case you just joined in, it is the SGX Nifty, which is indicating a sharp downtick at the open, but not something that was unheard of or unaware of because of the weakness that we saw in the global markets. Yesterday's dip on the SGX Nifty was bought into as well. So let's see whether today's gets bought into too. It is December series expiry, but that's about the index. A lot of individual stocks in focus, and to discuss that, we have who better than Gurmeet Chadha, who's the managing partner and CIO at Complete Circle. Gurmeet, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. We spoke about Poonawalla FinCorp. The stock has been buzzing around for the last few trading sessions, and now promoters are backing it as well. One of the promoter entity has bought almost 43 crore shares. What do you make of this stock, and would you advise people to buy it?
So pretty constructive on it, Mangalam, and thanks for having me. So if you notice, since they bought over Magna FinCorp, so promoter and management change. Not only the portfolio has been growing granularly, their cost of borrowing has come down significantly. Their rating went up to AAA, so their cost of borrowing, if you see, is down from almost 9.5% to sub 7% now, 6.97. And that creates a significant difference because that's the reason if you see NBFCs have been under a bit of pressure because banks get an edge when deposit growth lags credit growth, and the difference is quite wide. You have industry level deposit growth at 10% and credit growth at 17-18%. And I think they're growing very well. They have a target of 50,000 crores by FY25. Then I think the housing finance business was sold almost more than 3 times net worth, which I think is a very, very good valuation considering that where the other housing finance companies are trading, they've been also been very flattish. And I think there's a good digital ecosystem being built. I've been interacting with some colleagues there. So it's part of our coverage list and perhaps one of the few NBFCs which will do well. Also, if you see on a valuation basis, let's say, if you take market overall at 18,000, there are 2-3 pockets which are still below 10-year average valuations for NBFCs on a price to book basis. So that's also one pocket which has been not participated as much as the banks have in this up move.
Okay. Good morning, Gurmeet. And, before anything, let me wish you a very happy new year in advance. Last 2 days of the year. This has been a good year for a lot of people, including yourself. So you've had, many new milestones. So congratulations, and hope you continue to achieve the success that you've always, looked forward to. I want to ask you a little bit about some of the brokerage moves that we're getting this morning. And one of them is coming in on Ipca Laboratories, where Motilal Oswal has written a note. They met with the management and they talk about how the domestic formulations business is growing at a very fast pace. And there is outperformance in most categories, whether it's pain, dermatology, urology. So they have a target price of 1,000 on Ipca. Within this space and on Ipca particularly, your thoughts?
Thanks, Sonia. Thanks. I mean, hope we all have a good 2023. And I think India has still done well, considering where, the world has been this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so if you look at pharma as a pack, as I was mentioning, there are 3 pockets which are below 10-year multiples. So one is NBFC, one is pharma, and Ipca has been relatively soft over some time and has not created enough health. It's part of a coverage list, but we would like to see the January earnings before adding to it. What I like right now is something where there is absolute negativity, which is the CDMO and API space. This is a space we've been early since 2017-18. So my sense is that this pharma outsourcing opportunity is more long-term and structural. If you hear the management con call of even Divi's in Q2, where CDMO numbers contracted, they pointed out to a lot of projects being in phase 2, phase 3. There are about $22-23 billion of molecules which are likely to get off patent, and there's a lot of backward integration and utility upgradation and debottlenecking happening. Plus, it was a perfect storm. The COVID base came off, and your solvent prices, logistics, RM prices went up. So, and CDMO is a high margin business. We look at that. We also look at hospitals. I think we like Apollo Hospitals. It's part of our coverage list. So we'll concentrate more there than right now on Ipca and some of the multinational farmers which are into branded generics as of now.
I was very happy. Gurmeet, hi, morning. I think it was Alok on Twitter, Alok Jain, Weekend Investing on Twitter, who was asking Chat GPT best places to have Chola Bhatura in Delhi. And I was very happy to see you corrected him and you said it's not Haldiram, it is Nagpal.
I have backup plans now, Prashant, in case.
I love how Gurmeet has somehow become the brand ambassador of Chole Bhature on Twitter. I think you should have a little party for that, Gurmeet. Here, call all of us for some lovely Chole Bhature.
I have Chola Bhatura as a Twitter setting. As soon as anybody mentions Chola Bhatura, it pops up on my screen. And
his idea of rebellion is having lassi with Chola Bhatura in the winters, as against having chai or some hot drink.
Is it, Gurmeet?
So we look forward to you guys hosting you, because I can parcel it, but the freshness would be compromised. So whenever you guys are ready, we can do a Chole Bhature meet. Investors you will have a record turnout. Trust me.
We already have many invites. One is from Sanjeev Bhasin, where we have a chicken tikka invite in Delhi. And now, we have Chole Bhature. Our producers also want to join in, by the way, so I'm going to bring them along as well. But yeah, you were...
I'll tell you, the Nagpal is a very famous Chola Bhatura outlet in Delhi, okay? It's in South Delhi. And in Bombay, somebody sent me a flyer saying that they've opened an outlet in Bombay. I said, well, unbelievable, it's not possible. So I immediately called up the outlet. I said, yeah, it's just opened last week, so you can come down. It's pick up only. And somewhere in Andheri, I think.
Did you try it?
I did not try it. I was smart. I called the original Nagpal in Delhi and I asked them if they have an outlet. They said, no, we don't have an outlet.
That's equity research 101. That is, Gurmeet.
Hamari koi branches nahi hai. That's
Hamari koi, exactly. So, Gurmeet, all right, let's come back to markets. Fertilizers, right, is another area which is jumping. I mean, look at names: RCF, FACT, NFL, GSFC, Deepak Fertilizer even, but that's a lot of chemicals as well, doing very well. Is there some sort of a tailwind here, or this is just kind of, momentum-led moves which will fade out sooner than earlier?
I think latter, Prashant. If you see it's pre-budget expectations build up, government spending on rural economy, on agriculture. Also, mind you, this is the last year for full budget before elections in 2024. So I think it's more related to that. We have PI industries, which is not exactly fertilizer. It's crop protection and CDMO and agrochemicals, which fortunately has done very well in this market for us. The book remains at 12,000 crore plus. Their innovation rate is what is good. If you see every quarter, they tend to commercialize one or two molecules, and that's see the number of patent filing they do. This business is a lot about innovation, which unfortunately a lot of people miss. So that's something which continues to be in our coverage, and we have Deepak in our coverage. We haven't added that yet to the portfolio.
Do you track Team Lease, and is that a stock that you like?
Sorry, there was an audio glitch.
Do you track Team Lease by any chance?
We track InfoEdge, Sonia, in our coverage, and Naukri obviously is one vertical which is the largest contributing vertical. And then you have, at one point of time it was a darling because it was a proxy play to the startup ecosystems, right? The way the companies were getting listed. It's corrected, from 5,000 plus levels to 4,000. So, but if you see there, the billings have been going up. Even the matrimonial vertical seems to be doing okay. The educational vertical is where I think there is scope, but they're ramping it up, and it's a play on. So that's something which is in our coverage. But I would, despite the price correction, valuations still, in my view, are a little high. So we would tend to still be, for the first quarter, at least for this year, we would still be more focused on banks and autos, where probably the earning momentum is more strong.
Okay, the reason I asked is because we have the management of Team Lease joining in, so just request you to